Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to License to View, your favorite podcast on the internet where two best friends get together to talk about pop culture, comic books, movies, anime, TV shows, all that jazz. I'm Jason, that's Zach. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Another busy week, or not so busy, as the times are during the C virus, you know what I mean?
It's literally like every other week. It flip flops
They
between
they
news,
obviously stockpile news for sure.
and it's getting really annoying because there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
Like the last couple weeks, there was some stuff that like the 2 weeks that we didn't do the podcast, there was some good
Yeah,
stuff.
there was a bunch of stuff that happened when we took that time off, and yeah, now that we were like gonna go back on a more consistent schedule, nothing's happening.
Nothing's going on. But with that being said, what have you been up to, man, the last week?
Oh, been up to a bunch of stuff. Still plugging through Psych. I'm on. I'm almost done with season 7. I really just have the last episode and then the musical, and then I'll be done. And then I'll probably finish season 8 sometime this week. I realized that like season 6 has like some of my favorite episodes of all time.
I'm trying to think what's season 6. Is that
Season 6 has the baseball one that you talked about. Season 6 also has the one where they do the Shining spoof, which is a great episode.
Is season 6 the first? Is season 6 or 7? The first episode is the stolen toys. It's like Sean. The episode title's like Sean something with a Vader.
Oh yeah, that's 6.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Sean rescues Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good because that has Malcolm McDowell in it. That's a fun one. That one also has Late Night Gus, which is a great one.
Late Night Gus is my. Look, I love the whole show. It's my favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
Like we talked last week.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many good episodes and good moments. But Late Night Gus is in my top 5.
Late Night Gus is, and then this is like the season of like. I know we talked about like the spoofs of shit before, but like season 6 is like the season of that because you have Late Night Gus, which is The Hangover. You have The Amazing Psych Man, which is like just superhero stuff in general. You got The Dead Man's Curveball, which is like it's almost like it's like spoofing on like Moneyball kind of in that like inside baseball type of shit. You've got The Shining. You've got the Indiana Jones spoof, which is fucking fantastic. Those are the big ones. Then you've got and then you've got their fucking fantastic 2-parter that ends season 6 and starts season 7, which is the Santa Barbara Town, their Chinatown spinoff, which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially the beginning of season 7 is the conclusion of that, and like I mean it goes back to what you were talking about last week, which is like I mean this one really hits on. I think season 6 and 7 also like. As far as like all of the supporting characters, I think it really hits. I think this is like when their actual arcs like really start to come into full swing. Because season 6 is when Lassie meets his soon-to-be wife Marlo, and like he meets her, and like that discovers like his whole character arc of like getting past his ex-wife and like moving on with his life and like finding love. So that's a big thing for him. And then you've got Santa Barbara Town, which is like really exploring the relationship between like Sean and his dad, specifically because his dad gets fucking shot. And so you see him go through like this emotional, like cathartic process of like caring about his dad and like trying to get revenge for him and like basically throwing out the rule book to try to like get this old cop who shot his dad. So that's great. And then you've got all the stuff with him and Jules, which is like, all their stuff was fine until season 7. Like halfway through season 7, they break up, and I don't know. Those episodes are always like super weird and awkward to me because it's not going to last. Yeah. So it's just like, it's very weird. And I mean, him and Gus are always great the whole time. But yeah,
I love. It's not related to Santa Barbara Town, which is I love those episodes. And I remember when I was watching it live, the finale of.
Oh yeah.
The finale of 6 going and having to wait a full year. I knew that there's no way they were going to kill Henry, but I was like, if they kill Henry right now, like because like I think he's like Karen, where he's not he's a main cast member.
Yeah.
But he's not like in every episode. He's maybe in it for a couple scenes.
Yeah.
It's like, hey,
sometimes he has his standout episodes for the most part. Like he might have like 1 or 2 scenes where he like helps Sean with discover a clue or something
Well,
like that.
it's usually like okay, hey, can I in the first seasons is like, can I borrow the truck? Can I
Yeah.
borrow your tools? And then that's, hey, here's a lesson that I'm gonna teach you again from when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You know, obviously when he works with the cops again, he's picking the cases and that kind of stuff. But the episodes that highlight him a lot are like, ones I love the most are like the ones where he is at the old folks' home. And like that episode's really great. Obviously, the part in Late Night Gus is really great, which is not even he's not even the main guy. It's everyone else. Woody has a bigger part in that episode than Henry does. But yeah, it's one of those. It was finally a focus for him. Obviously, we had the bomber one was a big one for him. The 70s one.
All the stuff with like the old stuff where and the stuff where it's like the two guys from his past who were like the head detectives and whatnot, and so he's got that's a big episode for him. There was the one that I just watched, which is the Nip Tuck, the plastic surgery episode, where it's like it's him like getting back into the saddle and like being like a detective again. And it's weird though, because I feel like it's always the same arc when he has that, because it's always the same type of arc when he tries to be the detective, where he's in there, he's like fucking 100%, he's gunning for it the whole time, and then some weird like break in the case happens, and like some hunch he has like turns out to be wrong, and he like goes all depressed and like doesn't want to like do anything anymore, and then Sean has to like bust him out of it, and that's the same arc every single time. And I just realized that when I was watching Nip Tuck one, I've seen this story play out like at least three other times, where it's like his dad's helping, his dad's a big part of the case, something happens, his dad makes a mistake, and then Sean has to like get his bad dad back in the saddle.
Or it's the opposite, where he's at home not doing anything, and he's always right.
That's true.
Like like the entire time he's retired, he's like never wrong.
No, he's never wrong.
He's like, Sean.
It's only when he tries to investigate again, then he makes a mistake.
He's like, Sean, look at it from this perspective, and it's like, oh, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to talk about Psych twice in a row, but like, it's such a great show, and it's one of those shows that I'll watch just to kill time, because it's such a lighthearted show, even though there's like people getting murdered and stuff like that. But like, it's always so goofy and funny, and good characterizations and good bonds, and excuse me, between Dule Hill and James Roday, just like such a great buddy cop vibe. That's so good. So yeah, that's a constant rewatch for me. And the moment that show is taken off of a streaming service, I get pissed.
Yeah.
I'll get pissed.
I'll get super mad when it gets taken off Amazon Prime. I'll be like, why the fuck am I spending?
I have the Blu-ray, or I had the DVDs.
I don't. I need to get them.
I have them. I bought them for like $80 on there, because there's no Blu-rays of it. It's just DVDs.
Right.
I have them on Amazon for like $70, $80. They flip-flop, and my copy of it is a little bit dented. It's a slip case with a pineapple on it. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna buy a new one, which is a different collection, just so I can have two in case one breaks. Because at some point in time, this show will not be available for me to watch, and I know that like who knows? My dad loves MASH, right?
Right.
So he can just watch MASH all the time, because MASH is always fucking playing. But like, there's no show that I can think of in this era that, I mean, like, that is like that. Maybe Big Bang Theory, but I've never seen Big Bang Theory, and I don't think it's funny from what I have seen. So like, what the shows that are always replayed are like what? Law and Order, fucking NCIS, CSI, Seinfeld.
It's all the crime shows, Friends.
Like Friends.
The Office, all that kind of stuff.
I don't think Psych's going to be there. Actually, I want to ask you this. Were you a USA kid?
I was a big USA kid.
Because I was a USA, like when I got to middle school, USA was like, hey, you like edgier stuff?
Yeah.
But not even edgy in terms of like, oh, it's gruesome or whatever, but it's just like, hey, here are shows that are not going to be on the other networks.
Yeah.
So like, I was obviously a Psych kid.
Yeah.
Burn Notice kid.
Burn Notice was fucking huge. I loved Burn Notice.
Love Burn Notice. Even to this day, whenever I watch a movie and I see what's his name in it, I'm like, awesome.
Yeah.
But also Bruce Campbell is fantastic in that.
Bruce Campbell's great in it. I fucking love him in it. His girlfriend in that is great too. I love that
Fiona.
whole. Yeah, that whole trio of characters is great, and then his mom's great. It has a very similar thing to Psych though, where it's like you've got the two. Well, in Burn Notice, it's a trio, but then you've got his mom, and his mom basically takes the role of like Henry.
That's the USA formula. Is to have like one guy or girl who's like the expert at something.
Yeah.
It's the original CW superhero show where it's like we have one character who has the skills, and then we're gonna wrap them around with people who help make those skills better. Like okay, you have Michael, who is the super spy.
Yeah.
You have Fiona, who is the former terrorist. You have Bruce Campbell, Sam,
who was
Axe or whatever, who was the Navy SEAL. He was,
Navy SEAL or what?
Yeah, he was
Didn't
a Navy
SEAL.
SEAL.
CIA too, or was he just Navy SEAL?
He was a Navy SEAL who ended up working for the government, which is how he met Michael. So like they have all these skills that help accentuate Michael's revenge or goal to get why he got burned.
Yeah.
Same thing with like fucking like White Collar. Okay, you have the master thief and you have the FBI catcher guy, and his team of people who help solve these crimes. Like
you got Monk, you got fucking Monk, who's
I cannot stand Monk.
You don't like Monk? I actually really like Monk.
I think Monk was an era of USA that it was right before I started watching stuff.
Yeah.
Like the only shows I watched when Monk was still really airing. Obviously, Psych was on TV when Monk was on for a little bit, but the 4400 I watched a lot, which was a show about like 4400. I think it seems like a Stephen King thing. I don't know for sure though. I think the Dead Zone might have been a USA show. I don't remember for sure. Which was obviously a Stephen King thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, White Collar. What's that? The doctor one. Something Practice.
Royal Pain.
That one.
Royal Pains.
Like the doctor, and then his brother. The doctor loses his license or whatever. She's all that shit,
Yeah.
Covert Affairs.
I forgot about Covert Affairs.
That's the spy girl. I can't think of. I'm trying to think of other ones around that.
There was another one that was the U.S. Marshal show. What was that called? With the main chick who was like, oh my god, what was that show called? Like Without a Trace or whatever, I think.
Oh yeah, Without a Trace.
Because they were like witness protection, I think, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I didn't watch that show though, but I know what you're talking about.
I never watched it either. I didn't watch that. I never really got into Covert Affairs that much, and Royal Pains was fine, but. I don't know. I mean, the big ones for me was I always watched Burn Notice. I always watched Psych. I always watched Monk.
White Collar, I thought was great.
White Collar was good. I liked White Collar. White Collar was a fun show.
I watched the beginning seasons of what's the lawyer one?
I don't even remember.
With the girl...
Suits. I love Suits.
Yeah.
Suits was great. But yeah, I haven't caught up on Suits. But I watched like the first few seasons of that, and I really, really enjoyed it.
I know that even Amazon has Burn Notice on it. I was watching it on there a few months ago. I only got through the first season.
Amazon has a lot of USA shows. In Plain Sight, that's what it was called.
In Plain Sight.
Not Without a Trace. In Plain Sight.
Without a Trace is another show though, isn't it?
That is another show because I typed it in and it definitely came up. But
you know what show I tried to watch recently and I just didn't. I thought I would like it. But I just didn't like it. Was Bones.
I never really got into Bones.
I like what's his name, David Boreanaz.
Yeah, I like him.
Obviously, I like him as Angel.
Yeah,
I still have never seen Angel. I still have only seen Buffy, so I can't talk about Angel the show because I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
but I like him from Buffy. I like him from.
Angel's show's great. I love Angel.
I like it. I want to watch it at some point. I like it.
I almost like Angel more than I like Buffy. And I watched both, but I don't know. Angel's definitely like the edgelord version, because I mean it's David Boreanaz and he's like sad sake Angel the whole fucking time, and then Spike comes in, and Spike makes the whole show fucking better because Spike playing off Angel is fantastic.
They're two different shows. One's a coming of age show. One's a fucking like redemption story.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Angel's a whole different show, for sure. I mean it's still got like the Buffy trademarks, but I mean it's definitely more of like
I thought I would
their
like
older characters.
Bones, and I started watching it, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I just don't care about it.
I'm actually going through the popular USA shows, and I've seen like a couple of these. Like I remember Necessary Roughness because that had John Stamos in it. That was the one where John Stamos was in it, and there was a woman who was like, she ends up getting a job as like a sports therapist for
right.
for a
Yeah.
football team, and her whole thing is like trying to get this guy to like stop fucking around and like ruining all this shit on the team. I remember it's the
Gotcha.
black guy from Supergirl. He plays Jimmy Olsen.
I
It's the
haven't
same
seen
guy.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
the other
that's
guy
in,
is. Let me hold on. Name off some more.
I recognize the name Fairly Legal, but I don't think I ever watched it.
Okay, let's see.
As a Meteors, but no, I don't think I ever watched this.
Did you ever watch The Sinner, that new show?
No, I never. I haven't watched any of the new USA shows. I haven't watched USA in a long time because saw that. I saw that they have they have a Treadstone show, which I actually probably would be interested in watching.
I want to know if it was. Oh, it was canceled. Okay.
Which one was?
Treadstone.
The Dead Zone.
No, Treadstone. Treadstone.
Oh, Treadstone. Oh, really?
It says The Purge was
like
canceled. Treadstone was canceled.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
That blows.
It seems like none of the new shows really exist. Shooter was canceled.
No, I think USA kind of lost their thing. It was like Psych in that era was like their heyday, and I feel like they've kind of gone down since then. I don't think they really have like happening shows anymore.
I didn't even know Royal Pains lasted that long. It says it lasted from 2009 and 2016. I didn't even know it lasted that long.
It was a pretty popular show.
I thought it was fucking. I thought that it was like it got canceled like 2012 or something.
I never watched Mr. Robot either, but I know a lot of people like that show.
I saw the first season. I bought the first season on Blu-ray like years ago, like right after the first season ended, and I just didn't care for it. It felt like to me, and I could be completely miscategorizing the show because I know people really love Mr. Robot.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I'm watching it, and it's really well reviewed, obviously.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm watching the first season, I can't tell you any of the plot points right now because I just watched it and just didn't give a shit. I felt like it was trying really hard, and the initial vibes I got was, okay, this is trying to be Alan Moore. This is trying to be Alan Moore, trying to be V for Vendetta, and I don't know that's an appropriate. I have no idea if that's an appropriate comparison. Because I haven't finished Mr. Robot, and it's been so long since I've seen it. It's been 5 years or whatever.
Right.
But for me, I'm trying to think back how I felt when I was watching it, and I felt like I was watching an Alan Moore show that was not Alan Moore. Because Alan Moore is obviously, can't replicate him, but he tried to. He looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
But I could be completely wrong. Who knows?
Possible.
But what else have you been checking out, man?
So other than that, I watched a couple films. So I watched, what was the first one I watched? I can't even remember what the fuck I watched now. Fuck me.
That's why I have a list of my stuff.
I know. I need to start writing my stuff down again. I used to be able to remember for a long time. Well, I'll do what I watched on Friday because I watched The Mask of Zorro, which was
right.
Fantastic fucking movie.
I mentioned that a few weeks ago.
I did. Oh yeah, I think you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on Netflix and I popped it on. It's great fucking movie. I realized that they don't, because I mean it's just like a Spanish action movie, but they don't make movies like this anymore. Because I was like watching it and like the stunt work in it, and for like a movie like this, like I feel like it's like, I don't know, I feel like a movie like this wouldn't get the budget that it has. That this movie obviously had, because this movie like looks really good and like the effects look great and the stunt work on it is like fucking fantastic. I mean, I was thinking of as watching it, I'd never noticed this before, but like even just like when he first gets the mask and he like has to infiltrate the mansion and then he has to leave and he goes on like that probably like 5 to 6 minute like horse chase and he's doing like intricate fucking stunts where he's like fucking flipping on his horse and like riding backwards and all this crazy shit.
The 2 horse part where he's like
the 2 horse part. Yeah. There's so much great shit in that.
And for me, I always wondered too. Like when I was rewatching it a few weeks ago, I was like, I wonder when he burned the Z into the hill. Like, that couldn't have been a full size hill, right? That had to be a small ass hill that they just used as a perspective shot. Like, there's no way that they burned a big ass Z into an actual hill, right? Like, I don't know. But it looked legit. It looked real.
Yeah. No, I mean, it looked good. It looked really good. Catherine Zeta-Jones is fucking hot as shit. Love her in it.
Yeah, she was great at that. You know who the weakest part of that movie is? Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, and it's also it was like as I'm thinking of it, I was like as a kid, like I didn't care because it was just fun and I thought he was great when I was a kid. But thinking of it now, I was like, he's fine in it, but like I don't see him as like a Spanish dude, and he doesn't like try to have a Spanish accent at all. Unlike Raphael, who like, I mean, I guess he doesn't really try to have a Spanish accent either. The
He
only people who
doesn't.
really have them are Antonio and Catherine Zeta. They're the only ones who like try to have like some sort of accent. Like
What?
Anthony Hopkins doesn't give a shit, and then whoever plays Don Raphael does not give a damn.
You know what kills me? My whole life, I thought Catherine Zeta-Jones was like from like Spain or something,
Yeah.
but she's like fucking British.
Is she?
Yeah, she's from like Wales or something. Like the
Huh.
like
Oh, she is.
the
Wow.
only legitimate accent in that movie is fucking
Antonio.
Antonio Banderas.
Mm. He fucking makes that movie. I love him. I love him as Zorro. He's great.
Dude, she's married to Michael Douglas.
Is she? Good for her.
Michael Douglas is old as fuck.
Yeah, dude, she's old as fuck. You seen her lately?
She's 50, which is fine, but I mean that's not old. But Michael Douglas is like 75. Oh my god.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that old. I thought he was like in his 60s.
Can you imagine being married
Antonio
to a guy?
Banderas is 59 years old. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he's old, dude.
Uh,
He's old, dude.
Still out here killing it, dude.
Oh, I completely forget that she's the main girl in Ocean's 12.
Wait, what?
She plays the girl, the FBI the Interpol agent who is the daughter of the master thief.
Oh, Ocean's 12. I was thinking
Yeah,
Ocean's
Ocean's
11.
12.
I was like,
No.
Sandra Bullock's the main girl in Ocean's 11. Well, I think I've only seen
Sandra
Ocean's
Bullock is not the
once.
no. Julia Roberts is the main girl in Ocean's.
Wait, what?
You said Ocean's 11. That's Julia Roberts.
I get Julia Roberts and Sandra Bullock confused all the time. That's my problem.
Yeah, Ocean's 8.
Yeah, that's true. That's where I got her from. She's in Ocean's 8.
Well, so how do you so you like Zorro? What else?
I love Zorro.
Did you remember what else you checked out?
Yes, I did. I finally remembered
Okay.
because I watched one of my favorite Val Kilmer movies, which was that I watched The Saint.
Oh yeah.
Fucking love The Saint. Killer fucking heist movie. Val Kilmer kills it with all his fucking crazy little accents and shit. I love it. I love that movie. I love him in it. It's super fucking weird. I don't get it at all. It's all like it takes place in like a pseudo future where like cold fusion is like kind of almost a thing, but there's like a Russia that's like, I guess similar to modern day Russia where it's like a fucking hellhole. And then you've got some corporation that's like hiding heating oil to start a revolution. I don't know.
Right.
So, I mean, the plot of it's really fucking weird, but Val Kilmer just fucking kills it as like a master thief who's like a suave badass. Yeah. And he's got like the whole Splinter Cell shit when he first breaks into that high rise that looks rad as fuck. I love it. I love that he's like a master of disguise. He has all those little things. He's got those accents and stuff like that. It reminds me of like Mission Impossible almost with like his disguises.
I really feel bad because there was a wave where Val Kilmer was like the guy.
He was the fucking dude,
and
man.
then he just tapers off, and like it's such a bummer because like
I don't know when that happened. Like, what was the thing that killed him?
I don't know. Maybe he just lost. He gained weight. Maybe I don't know what was the reason.
Yeah, because I mean, he was like fucking Top Gun, fucking Tombstone, fucking Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Heat. He was in fucking everything.
And then
dude.
just went away for a long. Even now, I mean, he gained a lot of weight, but he got skinny again or lost some weight. So I don't know what it was, but maybe Hollywood stopped caring. I don't know, man. But like, and he has a very particular style of acting.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say he's Nicolas Cage level of particular style, but he's definitely in his own lane of style.
Yeah.
Like his Batman is the most interesting Batman.
I love his Batman.
Yeah, the way his speech patterns are so weird.
Yeah.
Like his rhythm.
He's got a different. It's like it's weird because he's an American actor, but he almost acts like he's like a foreign guy from like. It almost feels like he's like from Sweden or some shit. Just like he's so. It's so weird. It almost like I don't know. For me, when he acts, it almost feels like English isn't his first language, but he's fucking American, so
Yeah,
it
I
makes no
can
sense.
completely. And that doesn't really seem that way in like his early stuff, but like
Yeah.
definitely in like Batman, maybe even Heat,
Hmm.
kind of. It's like, dude, what you enunciate so weird.
Yeah.
You talk so weird, but all
It's
right.
very strange.
What else you
But
got
yeah,
going
I
on?
watched that. I fucking loved it. Um, Playing a couple other things. Nothing too big. Still chucking through Assassin's Creed Odyssey. No big updates there. Just chucking through it. Um, what else did I play? Not too much else. I played more Call of Duty. Can't play Warzone. Uh, Still, I don't even have. I don't know. It's weird. I don't have any desire to like boot it up and try it. Um, so I don't know. Maybe I'll play it eventually, but I don't really feel like it. I started playing Call of Duty World War II because PlayStation Plus gave that for free. So I decided to check out the campaign because I do love World War II stuff. And that campaign's fucking weird. I don't like it. They do shit where you have a health bar in a Call of Duty game, which I find fucking weird. You have to actually like get health packs to like heal yourself, which is very strange. I don't know. I find it very weird. It's just not very Call of Duty. I think it's fine. I mean, it'd be fine. I don't know. It's not what I'm used to in a Call of Duty campaign. It feels like they more try to do like their own. I don't know. It just feels like it feels very different for any Call of Duty. Like it should have been its own game. It just doesn't feel right in the Call of Duty world.
Which one was this again?
This is the one before Modern Warfare. They when they went back to World War II.
Which one was that? What's it called?
It's just called WW2. It's Call of
Oh,
Duty
okay.
WW2.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I haven't
But
played
yeah,
it.
I mean that's fine. I mean I love the World War II
Hey,
stuff. The story
Zach,
from
can you
fantastic.
vamp for a second?
Yeah, sure. So I mean I love that. I love the World War II stuff. That stuff's all great. I mean I love I mean it starts the way all World War II stuff does, which is that I don't know why they all feel like they have to fucking start with like the fucking beach invasion of Normandy. Like I'd rather see other shit. It's why I kind of like Battlefield a little bit more because at least when they do when Battlefield does their World War II game, which they did one a little bit ago, I don't remember what one it was, but they did a World War II game, and they didn't start off with Normandy. They start with other shit. But Battlefield's also willing to like not just stick with Americans, which I feel like Call of Duty like exclusively is like we're only going to do the Americans forward. But Battlefield will be like, no, we're going to do like especially like the newer Battlefields. They'll be like, no, we'll do like the British and the French and we'll do like fucking Middle Eastern people, and then we'll do Americans at the end because they didn't really show up until like the last 2 years. Um, so that's fine. It's just super weird. Like I was saying, I just don't like the health. I don't like the health bar stuff. It feels very strange, especially when it's like it feels counterintuitive to be you having a health bar, but then I have to fucking storm through Normandy where there's no cover, and you're on a beach with people with fucking mounted machine guns, and you can't get any closer because as soon as you take away from cover, you get fucking mowed down by an MG40 that's just sitting in a bunker that you can't even fucking, snipe the dude out of. So, I mean, that was kind of frustrating, but I really didn't die too. I mean, all you have to do is just realize the pattern, which is, I mean, the way you get through it. But it's also, I mean, I could see the health bar if you're trying to do like an actual, like, oh, you're a soldier in World War II, and like, there's no, holding your breath and healing. Like, no, if you get shot, you're fucking dead. But I mean, it's a video game, and so you just come back anyway. So, I don't know, kind of, it loses some of that. Like, kind of feels like it defeats the purpose at that point when you're doing stuff like that. Um, but so that was fine. So I was playing that. I bought Persona 5 Royal. Um, I want to start playing that soon. Um, I feel like I'm just gonna play that instead of because I still haven't fully beaten Persona 5, but like I know what happens and everything that I've heard says that Persona 5 Royal is like a superior game in like every aspect. So why wouldn't I just try to play the game that's superior? I mean, especially since I already love Persona 5, but Persona 5 Royal keeps the stuff that I like
I'm
about that
back.
game,
I'm
but
back.
also
Sorry.
adds interesting shit that no, you're good. Adds interesting shit that actually makes me like want to dive back into the game and play the story. So I don't know why I wouldn't play Persona 5 Royal instead of trying to finish Persona 5. So, yeah.
Sorry, I had an important phone call I had to make.
No, you're good, man. It's all good. I was just talking about how I bought Persona 5 Royal, so I was probably going to start playing that this week, maybe, if I want to spend 80 hours in a game. I don't know. I keep picking up fucking games that are long as shit, because I got fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I got Persona 5 Royal. I don't know. Might be a mistake.
We'll see. I remember I bought Persona 5, and I played it for like 8 hours, and went, you know what? I'm good.
Well, that was the thing, was I actually really like Persona 5 a lot. I like playing the game, and I think it's a really fun game. But I never finished it, and I want to finish it, but now Persona 5 Royal's out, and everything I've heard about the game is that it's just a superior version, and it fixes a lot of stuff that was wrong, and makes a lot of stuff that was a little more...
Is it a new game, or is it the same story?
It does this. It does the thing that Persona games usually do, which is it's a similar story, but they add new aspects to it. So it's not just the same game. There's different, like, I mean, the whole Persona 5 Royal, there's a completely new character that they've interwoven into the story. So the story's similar, but there's a lot more branching story paths that you can choose from now, seeing as how there's a completely different character that you can bounce off of and that joins into your adventures. And from what I understand, she joins pretty early on. So, I mean, there's pretty significant changes that have to happen if, she's there pretty early and is affecting, the whole story aspect from the fact that you have an extra person there that has a whole different perspective. And the way Persona games work, it's not just like an extra body that's there. Like, there's a whole different, like, relationship branching story arc in the way that you interact with this character that can change the entire way that you play the game and see the game and interact with other characters. So,
I theoretically,
yeah,
I would love Persona. I think it looks so cool. The concept's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But then I play it and I'm like, you know what? The combat's fine. Navigation's fine. UI's fine. It's just too fucking long.
It's really fucking long.
And that kills me on games.
The problem with Persona 5 Royal is that it's even fucking longer, because the first game I think is like, I think a normal playthrough is like 50 to 60 hours. And Persona 5 Royal is like, it's like upper 80s, like close to 90 hours. I've heard of, like, just like the bare bones playthrough is like 80 hours.
That is 79 hours too long.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the nature of the game, because the whole gameplay aspect is you play every single day for an entire year of a character's life. So it's not like...
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, because the whole way the game progresses forward is that, you start off your typical day. Typically, because the way the Japanese society works, typically 6 out of your 7 days a week are spent at school. So you do school stuff, you interact with people at school. Then you have your one day off where you can do wherever you want. And you can also do stuff after school sometimes, where you can either dungeon crawl, or you are at a point where you're at a main dungeon, and so you progress through that main dungeon at night. And then when you've got far enough along in that aspect, or if you have, your health is too far gone, or your MP's too far gone, and you need to quit for the night, then you stop, take a breather, then you start the next day. But, I mean, a typical, story arc or dungeon time period in Persona 5 is like, you have like a month to complete the dungeon in game. So that's like 30 days you have to scroll through. And I mean, you can beat it sooner. And then if you beat it sooner, you have a lot more free time outside of that to like do whatever you want and like, do all different kinds of side content. But yeah, I mean, you play like every single day for like, I think it's a whole year.
That's part of the game. It's almost why I get so hesitant when I play Yakuza. Because like all the story stuff I'm cool with. It's all the excess like mini games and the drinking and karaoke, which is cool stuff in theory. But for someone like me who just does, to me it's like, it's why I can never finish a GTA game.
Yeah.
Because there's so much excess stuff to do that I just cannot do it. And so I think with that being said, like, I will never finish a Persona game just because it's so much stuff.
Yeah, it's ridiculously long, yeah.
How much did it cost?
I actually got it on sale, but I bought the deluxe edition, so I got it for $50.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Yeah, I got like $20 off, which I was pretty happy with. So, and that's what I wanted. Because I mean, I already had Persona 5, so I already had. There's already some initial DLC, but there's some costumes for some of the characters. Some of the girls get some cute DLC costumes with the deluxe edition that I wanted to get. So getting it for $50, I was pretty happy.
So after that, have you been doing anything? You remember what else you checked out? What else you
No,
watched?
that was it.
Okay.
The only thing I forgot was the save.
Oh,
So,
okay, gotcha. Well, my
but yeah, that.
list
Tell me.
is extremely short.
Oh my God.
Extremely short because this week something happened this week too where I just was not in the mind space.
Hey man, sometimes it happens.
I think I just the last couple weeks I was over consuming, so
Yeah.
I under consumed all week. The first
It
thing I
happens to
did,
me. Typically, that is me just like instead of watching a TV show or movie, I just like watch bullshit on YouTube and waste that.
absolutely, I watched that thing you do, which is Tom Hanks' movie, his first movie he directed, which is about
I don't think I've seen that.
It's a good movie. It's not Tom Hanks is not the star of it, but it's Tom Hanks as like a record executive. And it's about a band in the late '60s, I think, who become a one-hit wonder, and then it's the rise and fall of this band.
Okay.
And like Steve Zahn's in it, and it's a really fun movie. It's not super serious. It's really goofy. It's fun. There's some serious elements to it, but it's a really good movie about a band. So that thing you do is from 1996, and then I watched HBO Max has all the TMNT movies, so I watched the first one.
Dude, I'm so upset that I don't have HBO Max.
It.
I canceled my subscription, and I'm gonna re-up it HBO Max to get that shit. I want to watch the fucking Late Night with Elmo. God damn it, it looks so fucking funny.
Well, you should get it. I think it's honestly.
I do need to get it.
Of all the streaming services, which I have a ton. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Amazon, I have HBO, I have Showtime, I have Sling.
Mm-hmm.
Quality of movie stuff right now, not because I don't even care about the HBO stuff, because the HBO stuff I don't give a shit about, because I don't.
You get all the stuff that's like on HBO now.
Yeah,
right?
You get all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't care about most of the HBO stuff, honestly. So for me, it's the pure the movies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some of the TV shows. So they have most of Whose Line Is It Anyway, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
They have most of they have all of Fresh Prince.
Oh.
They have TMNT, which Netflix had a couple months ago. They have Lord of the Rings extended editions. They have all the DC stuff. And then they have all the Batmans, all that kind of stuff.
Dude, they got fucking. I forgot that they got the anime hookup because they got Ghibli and they've got Crunchyroll stuff on there too.
Yep, they have some anime on there. So I watched TMNT 1, which is a great movie, and I always realize that I'm way more a fan of Secret of the Ooze than compared to the first movie. I think it's usually the inverse.
I think I really like the first movie. Yeah, I mean, Secret of the Ooze is good. I mean, nobody likes the third movie, but
I like the third movie.
I don't like the third movie at all. The time travel shit.
Yeah, I like it, man.
I like it. I mean, I like the second one. I think my problem with the second one, a lot of the times, is that from what I remember watching it, I feel like the combat was kind of like toned down, which I mean, I don't know. I like martial arts movies and shit like that, and I like the first one because it was like fucking guys in turtle costumes, like fucking doing karate and fucking whacking people with pizza boxes and shit. And I feel like, I mean, outside of like the initial fight scene, I don't remember too much actual fighting happening in the second one, except at the end when they fight against the mutants.
Toko and Razor, yeah.
Yeah.
There's fighting in it.
Which is also a travesty because it's not Bebop and Rocksteady. Like, what the fuck?
And there's fighting in it, but I mean, I think that it was just coincidence that I like these movies more because they just played on TV more often.
Yeah.
Like, I like Ghostbusters 2 more than 1 because as a kid I saw Ghostbusters 2 more on TV or my VHS. Yeah. TMNT Secret of the Ooze I like more than the first one because, well, UPN, the old channel that we used to have, you know, I mean, we being America, would always play Secret of the Ooze for some reason when I was a kid. Just seemed like they played it all the time, so I watched it all the time.
Right.
So I love that movie, and I watched the first one. It's great. I'm going to watch 2 soon. And a couple other things real quick. Speaking of comic book movies on HBO, I started watching the Dark Knight Returns animated series,
Ooh,
animated movies.
yeah.
I watched the first part. I haven't seen part two yet. It's good. I like it. I mean, I've read the comic 1,000 times, so it's a good
I remember
adaptation.
really liking the first Dark Knight Returns movie. I don't. Did they do the second one?
Yeah, part two's been made. Yeah,
They did. Oh,
yeah.
okay. I don't think I ever watched that
I haven't
one.
seen it.
But
I've only seen part. I've only seen a couple of the DC, and I've seen the Shazam one with Superman.
Shazam with Superman is great.
I saw Red Hood.
Red Hood's good. I watched All Star Superman. All Star Superman is great.
Didn't see that. I've read that. I haven't seen that.
Um, the movie they did for it is great. I watched the Death of Superman, the movie that they did. I watched. I watched the Justice League one that they did, the New 52 Justice League movie that they did. What else did they do? I can't remember now.
They did. I'm trying to think what else they did. They've done so many. I remember I mentioned in the podcast. I saw the TMNT one I watched.
They did it. Oh yeah, they did. They did animate Batman vs Teenage Ninja Turtles.
I saw that one.
They need it out. They need to animate fucking Batman vs Power Rangers.
Yeah. Hold on. Or TMNT versus Power Rangers. Let's see. DC Universe animated movies, because they did a ton. That's the one thing that they've been doing consistently. Like Marvel has the
There's like a Justice League Dark movie, isn't there?
Yeah, there's one that just came out too recently.
Yeah.
There's one called Apocalypse War, which is Justice League Dark. People are saying it's really great.
I watched the Supergirl movie.
Okay.
That was a fun one.
They did a Hush one?
Yeah, they did. I do remember that. They need to do a long Halloween, honestly. That's what they fucking need to do.
The Killing Joke, haven't seen it.
I remember people actually didn't like that one as much.
They did Flashpoint, apparently.
Flashpoint's fine. I don't know. Flashpoint is one of those things where I feel like people make a bigger deal out of it than it actually is. Because honestly, I mean, I've read Flashpoint. I mean, it's fine. It's not like my favorite story ever. I don't know. I mean, I think the thing about Flashpoint that puts it over normally is that it has interesting concepts, like Bruce Wayne's father is Batman and his mom is Joker, and then you've got the Wonder Woman shit where Wonder Woman's like a warlord, and you've got the Aquaman stuff, and Superman's like a weakling that like got captured by the U.S. government, like that. It's got interesting concepts, but I feel like the overall story is kind of like eh.
Yeah, it's funny because I was reading just for fun. I've been reading a lot of comics. Obviously, I go to my shop every week now that it's back open. But I've been reading a lot of older stuff because I just wanted to, just for the sake of reading it. So I went and I read stuff that I missed over the last couple of years. I went and read the Batman Flash crossover called The Button.
Ooh,
which was essentially a prequel to Doomsday Clock.
I was about to say, wasn't that the one where it was about Dr. Manhattan or some shit like that?
It was like kind of. They find the Watchman pin in the note that Thomas Wayne gives Bruce from Flashpoint, and they go to his world. Bruce meets Thomas, and then that world dies or whatever. And then they go over here, and then I read that, and then I skimmed heavily. I mean, skimmed, I fucking skimmed through Doomsday Clock because it's over. And I will say this right now with no qualms. I fucking hate Watchmen.
You don't like Watchmen?
I've always said, I mentioned this.
No, you've always said this.
I've always said I don't like Watchmen. I fucking hate Watchmen. I mean that wholeheartedly. Everything about me, I fucking hate Watchmen. It's not bad. It's not bad. It is not a badly written comic book. It's not bad. I just don't give two fucks about it. I'm so over it.
Yeah, that's
fair.
And
the idea that we're going to fucking implement... Because here's what fucking blows my... I had to Google this. And people had the same question that I did. And I don't fucking understand it. Now, again, this is comic books.
Okay.
So my questions, in reality, don't fucking matter. Because they're comic books.
That's
so
also
I understand that. Like, why the fuck does Flash... How does Flash have this fucking speed force when he got hit by lightning and chemicals? I understand that. I understand. But the next question has to... How the fuck is Dr. Manhattan, this all-knowing being with the ability to create New 52 in the DCU,
Right.
He made that or whatever, or made Rebirth, or whatever the fuck he did.
That's true.
Because he was in an atom rearranger and fucking what? That's the equivalent of like, how the fuck is Captain Marvel so powerful because she got next to an exploding engine, or however the fuck that actually happened. I don't get it, and it pisses me off. Because to me, it's DC going, okay, we're going to integrate the Watchmen so much because people love Watchmen, which people do, and I understand why. And it's legendary, obviously. I know that.
Yeah.
But I feel like we're just giving him too much. Giving Dr. Manhattan, like, compared to, like, who? Like, Darkseid? Like, who? Now we're putting this guy in fucking cosmic levels of tiers.
Yeah.
He's a human who became this magical entity, which I understand, but like, come on, man. To me, it just seems like a little much to force these characters into the book.
Yeah.
Now, again, I skimmed through it. I don't know anything about the book, so I read the final issue, read the first issue, right, and I skimmed through between. So art looks great. Rorschach's a black guy. And then
I do remember that. I remember because I read like the first 2 issues of Doomsday Clock, and I was like, "Oh, Rorschach's a black guy."
Rorschach's a black guy, and then which I'm fine with. I don't care.
Yeah,
and then I noticed the very different perspective from Jeff Johns about Rorschach in this versus the Watchmen Damon Lindelof stuff. Because in the end of the issue, again, I have no context for what happens in between. All I know is that Batman goes to Rorschach, the new Rorschach, and says, "Hey, you can change this hero's persona by being what you want to be or whatever the fuck and be a good guy.
Right.
And make Rorschach a better symbol of whatever." Whereas in the Watchmen show, it's Rorschach, KKK, white supremacy. So just purely there, you have two completely different perspectives on what Rorschach can be.
Right.
But I maybe it's my bias against Watchmen, which is why I'm so fucking annoyed. But I was like, how is Dr. Manhattan? That's his name as Dr. City of a place in the United States. Is so powerful to create a whole new strand of universe. Come on, man.
He fucking ripped reality apart by itself because he fucking made some shit on Mars or some fucking bullshit.
Yeah, but other cosmic entities don't do that.
That's why he's the be all end all, I guess. That's why he's able to remake the entire DC universe.
Like, that's the one thing about DC that starts to piss me off is like their cosmic stuff is so piss poor. Like their cosmic stuff is so trash.
Compared to Marvel, it's definitely worse. Yeah.
Like Marvel has the cosmic level stuff like nailed down.
Yeah.
Like nailed like to the T. Because they have all their cosmic level fucking mutants, they have all the Galactus stuff, all that stuff, they have that stuff figured out because of Jack Kirby or whoever the fuck else.
Mm-hmm.
But what Marvel has piss poor is their occult stuff. What DC has fucking pristine is their occult stuff. Like DC's occult stuff is amazing, whereas Zatanna, Hellblazer, Deadman.
But I mean, it comes to they each have their own strong points. Because Justice League Dark is like the fucking cream de la crop of like the Justice League occult magic shit, and you've got Marvel, and they've got like I don't think Marvel even does anything with magic besides like Doctor Strange, but like
no Marvel.
Doctor Strange is boring as fuck.
Marvel has a ton of magic characters.
Do they?
But the only one that's currently going is like Ghost Rider.
Oh, you mean comic wise?
Yeah,
there's no comic for Doctor Strange.
Oh, there's one with Doctor Strange too. Yeah, Doctor Strange, of course. But like, But
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider is the only, because even Doctor Strange to me isn't really an occult guy. I mean, he is in terms of terms, but like the Sorcerer Supreme isn't out there, like. But Ghost Rider's the king of hell.
Right.
You have Blade.
Blade is dope.
The paranormal stuff, but they don't do anything with Blade. Blade has. Dude, I did some research on Blade.
Tell me.
Because I never read a Blade comic book in my life.
Okay.
And I googled it because there are fucking barely any.
Yeah.
There's like 5.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like the definitive Blade is fucking Wesley Snipes' Blade. But so that was my big gripe with fucking Doomsday shit in the button. Like it was just them trying so hard to shoehorn in a reason why New 52 happened, and to shoehorn in the Watchmen into the DCU, whatever the fuck timeline, Earth 1,
Mm-hmm.
Earth 2, whatever the fuck. And I'm just like getting so, and I love DC more than I love Marvel. I've always been a DC fan.
Yeah.
But whenever it gets to these crisis level, multiplicity, multi-universal type shits, I go, you know what? I don't need this.
Yeah.
Don't want it. Don't need it. Give me Batman. Give me Flash. Give me Aquaman. Give me Superman. Give me John Constantine, Swamp Thing, and let them do their things. And then every year come together, do some big ass shit. But you don't gotta do like, oh, we gotta bridge the worlds.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing because it's like even Marvel. I just think Marvel does. Yeah, I think Marvel does cosmic, especially like as far as like cosmic, as far as like what are they called? Event. As far as like universe events, I think Marvels are usually much better done than DC's because I don't know. I just feel like DC doesn't have too much going for them because I remember. I mean, this is also probably old, so I don't know how recent this is, but I mean, Age of Ultron is like fucking fucking killer series of comics that like does really really well of like adapting, cosmic level threat against these heroes that like I mean, Ultron fucking takes over the entire fucking universe, so.
Yeah. Well, so the last thing I wanted to mention was actually speaking about comic books.
Okay.
I'm continuing on reading Transmetropolitan by Warren Ellis, cyberpunk journalist, Spider Jerusalem. Have you ever heard of Transmetropolitan?
I've heard of it. I've never read it.
Okay, I think you really like it because he's a journalist. He's essentially cyberpunk version of Hunter S. Thompson. But
okay.
It's about a guy named Spider Jerusalem who's a book writer, journalist, gonzo journalist guy who wrote some books and then he made a bunch of money. And he said, fuck this world, I'm going to go live in the mountains for like 5 years.
Okay.
He's living in the mountains, full beard, crazy, by himself, crazy guy. At Cyberpunk City, he gets a call from a lawyer being like, hey, by the way, you still owe us 2 books. And if you don't give us these 2 books, we're going to fucking sue you. So you better start writing. So he's like, oh, shit. So he shaves his beard, comes back to the city, and it's Cyberpunk world. And it's about him, like, finding these stories and writing to pay bills so he can work on these books. And it's a big commentary on capitalism, technology, and people, and journalism, and the military. And it's cyberpunk stuff.
Okay.
And it's like my favorite thing that Vertigo's ever done besides Hellblazer. So I'm reading that again very slowly.
Okay.
Very, very slowly. It's really good. The art's really great. I forget the artist's name. But it's really fun. It's really good. I think you would really enjoy it. Because to me, it's like... When I think of Vertigo, it's like the 2 big books I think of, but not including the Hellblazer stuff, even though Hellblazer Swamp Thing are big. I think Metropolitan and I think Preacher are like the 2 like big, heavy juggernauts that Vertigo has that like 1-2 punch. Yeah. Like, hey, here's the 2 big ones. Metropolitan, Preacher, and you want more, here's White Last Man, here's Scalped. And then it's like, hey, you want the superhero DC stuff, here's Swamp Thing, Hellblazer, that kind of shit. So,
yeah, I get that for sure.
I'm reading that very slowly, and the last thing I want to mention before we move on to whatever else is I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again, is that man, I'm gonna get some shit for this.
Tell me.
More so than my Watchmen hate. This is more.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Tell me.
Everybody in the universe fucking loves Preacher.
I love Preacher.
Loves Preacher. Now, I've never read Preacher.
Oh no!
So
don't tell me this.
I read the first 3 issues of Preacher.
Don't tell me this.
And
don't
you
say
this.
it.
I will say this right now, and I said it in a Facebook group of comic book nerds.
Don't you say
because
it.
Here's why. Here's what I'm about to say.
Don't, Jason.
I would love to read Preacher. Continue reading it. I would love to continue reading Preacher.
Where's the butt?
If Steve Dillon's art was not fucking trash.
Oh.
And I know he's passed away, and I'm also a Christian person. That has nothing to do with this, because I love Hellblazer, I love fucking Dresden Files, I love Swamp Thing, I love magic, occult shit, I love that stuff. That stuff's so cool. Steve Dillon's art makes my head hurt because it's so bad. it is so stiff, and the faces look the same, and it's
Yeah, the
so
faces are weird.
there is no
I think his faces are terrible.
there's no sense of action or motion, and this goes not just to Preacher. I would love to. I've read all of Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon, Punisher stuff. I've read every single issue. The one hiccup of that entire thing is not getting a better artist.
Yeah.
Really, because the Punisher should be action packed and fluid, and it really does not translate with Steve Dillon's art, in my opinion. Obviously, it sells well; it's really popular. I understand that. Obviously, Preacher is loved and sells well, and everyone loves it. But I don't think Preacher's high point is Steve Dillon's art. I think Preacher's big high selling point is Garth Ennis' writing and him saying, like, here's my criticism on religion or whatever, or the brutality or the gore or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't think someone says, "Hey, you should read Preacher. The art is so good." That's never been said. I don't believe that's been said before.
Yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, I think it's definitely more of like a story aspect than the art aspect. Because yeah, I definitely feel like there's, I don't know, it's interesting because I feel like his art goes either one of two ways. Because I don't know, I feel like his art kind of matches the story because it is kind of like gritty and gross and grimy, like it's not polished, and I feel like it kind of fits into this like kind of like pessimistic story that Preacher is trying to tell. But at the same time, I don't know. There's a way to do it that's still appealing to look at, and Preacher doesn't really hit that mark for me.
I mean, to me, like, art has to be appealing in some sense. Like, again,
Yeah.
Garth Ennis wrote some Hellblazer,
Yeah.
with other artists, and also with Steve Dillon.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't like the art there. It's purely because of his art style. It's not about because Garth Ennis' content. I don't give a shit about the content. Because to me, Garth Ennis criticizes religion, criticizes politics, criticizes everything, and it's almost black comedy.
Yeah.
It's humorous. I don't take it seriously.
Oh, 100%. 100% it's black
like
comedy.
obviously The Boys is so fucking absurd. Like I don't take the gore and the action and the bloody and the sex. I don't take that. That's very British, so it doesn't bother me. Like even his take on Punisher, which is purely a nihilistic, over the top Frank Castle, which I really don't like that Frank Castle. I like Frank Castle, which is I'm vengeance, I'm anger, the corruption. I like that more than the over the top, just kill everyone Frank Castle. I don't like that as much.
Right. I get that.
So I really think that I like the idea of Preacher. I like the idea of the story. I like the idea of God being gone. I like the idea of even the fucking stupid ass eccentric cult stuff and the fucking the kid with the stupid ass face and then the the killing God stuff and then the random cowboy guy and then the little Jesus guy. All that stuff I'm fine with, story wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know how Preacher ends. I've seen the ending before, not the show, but I've read the last issue just so I can understand where it goes. And I'm fine with, I don't know the journey, but I'm fine with the ending of him crying or whatever. He never cried when he was a kid. I get that stuff. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The art is just so trash. And if it was a better artist, I can imagine this thing being fucking perfect. And I know some people think it's perfect. That's perfectly fine because art is subjective, obviously. But to me, the art is so ugly and boring. And like, I can't imagine like if I saw somebody, I don't know pick a better artist, anybody, but like it would just be like insane. It would be insane how much better I think it would be.
Yeah.
And that alone, and obviously comic books a visual medium, so if I hate the way the art looks,
I mean, yeah, that's a big strike against it for sure.
I've dropped Batman runs because I can't stand the art. You know, I've dropped issues because of writing and because of art, because obviously it's a myriad of stuff. So even if I like Garth Ennis' writing and the concepts and the ideas and the goofiness, I will not keep reading because the art is so just abysmal to me.
Yeah,
no matter what the world says, like people really don't like Frank Miller's art. I like Frank Miller's art. It can be trash. It really can. It can look like garbage, but I enjoy it. Can. I really enjoy it, Like I've had friends of mine tell me they can't read his Daredevil stuff or they can't read Year One or Dark Knight because it's so whatever, not what they're used to.
Right.
You know, but I really, yeah, that's my preacher bit.
Okay.
That's my preacher bit. So,
all right.
Of the issues that I read, the 3 that I read fully, they were fine. They were fine. I kept thinking though that I was not.
I think you should just give it more of a chance because I feel like the story will enrapture you more than the art will. Because the story is fucking excellent. It's great. I mean, you would love The Boys.
Well, I like The Boys. I didn't love it.
It's his writing. His writing's excellent, and I like the hook of the story, and I like where the story goes, and I think the characterization he has for those characters, for Jesse, for Casty, for Daisy, I think them as like this ragtag trio, I really enjoy that aspect to it. I think the antagonists that he set up are multifaceted and much more interesting than like your typical comic book antagonists.
Right.
I like the conspiracy aspect that he gets into it, specifically when you get to, I don't remember what his name is, but he's like, I think his name is like Hair Star or something like that. He's like a bald guy who has like he's got like only one eye or something like that. But that's an interesting part of it too. I don't know. There's a lot to enjoy story-wise from that I would hate to see you give up on it because of the art. Which, I mean, I agree, the art is not the greatest, but I think there's a lot more to enjoy there.
I mean, past it. It just seems to me like it's a deviant art comic book. Which to me, a lot of early Vertigo really just seems like guys who can't draw that well. And like, I know, again, art's subjective, so I understand that, and I completely understand that people really, really, really fucking like his art.
Yeah.
But in my mind, it's not the art that people like. It's Garth Ennis's commentary on organized religion, or his ability to say, you know what, I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want. And honestly, I think a big part of Preacher is nostalgia, and a big part of it is also that it's a status quo. The world tells you that Preacher's great, so we're gonna like Preacher. Same thing with Watchmen and Dark Knight Returns, and maybe I'm just naturally anti what everyone else likes. I'm gonna not like it.
I don't know, because you like John Wick, and everybody fucking loves John Wick.
Oh man, I love Star Wars. I love John Wick. Yeah. I really like the Marvel.
You like Lord of the Rings. Everybody loves Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so, I mean,
I actually can't say that. I was about to say something, but that's not necessarily true. I don't think.
About what?
Harry Potter.
I like the movies.
Yeah, but you haven't finished them, though, have you?
I've seen all the movies. I haven't read the books.
Oh, you have finished? Okay, so then you like Harry Potter.
No, I like Harry Potter. Yeah. I've seen every movie when they came out, except for the last one. I waited 4 years to watch.
Yeah.
I haven't read all the books yet.
If you watch the movies, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna watch. I mean, Emma Watson, dude, she was so hot.
She was.
My childhood crush, dude.
Back in the day, dude.
Third movie was like the fucking prime time. I was like, okay, here we go.
Here we go.
That's all I've been checking out this week so far. I bought a lot of toys. I sold a lot of toys.
I saw a couple of those. I saw your Terminators. I saw a little bit of was that Alien or was that Commando?
Commando.
Commando?
No, oh, that was a Predator. That was a Predator thing. That was a Dutch from Predator, yeah.
Yeah.
But I bought some toys. I sold some toys. Flipped some toys. And that's all I've been up to so far, if you want to go into the news.
Okay. We got some news. Got a couple of things.
Not much.
Not much, but we've got some. So we've got, I think one of the biggest things is that, this is two-parter, because I also just saw this come down on Collider. But, so there's two parts to this, which is one that NATO basically thinks that all movie theaters are going to be open by like mid-July. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with that.
What's supposed to come out though?
Well,
Tenet,
supposedly, but after Tenet, I don't think anything else is, because I think Christopher Nolan's the only one who's had the balls to like try to actually stick to like a July 17th.
Because like wasn't like Wonder Woman supposed to come out like recently?
Which one?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, well, I think Wonder Woman was supposed to come out the same time. I think it was supposed to come around a similar time as Tenet.
I thought it was like recently was the original release date.
Was it? I thought it was supposed to come out like late June, early July. I thought it was around then.
Was delayed to June 2020, now pushed to August 14th. Yeah, I don't see.
I can't remember.
I swear it was like June something. I don't know. Whatever.
August 14th. Let me see. Maybe I can find something.
Are you excited at all for Wonder Woman though?
Slightly. I mean, I like the first Wonder Woman a lot, so I mean, I'm interested in a sequel. I haven't really seen too much about it though to like get me really excited. I mean, they had like one like kind of trailer, but there really wasn't much in it, and the poster is fine, but like I don't know, it's like a weird Andy Warhol
yeah.
acid trip that like I don't know, it doesn't do too much to like get me jacked up to see it. But I mean, I'm excited to watch it because I really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I really like the first Wonder Woman. I like the way Patty Jenkins portrayed the character and the story that she set up until the last 30 minutes, where you had some weird CGI airy shit that like made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
The movie up to like the last 30 minutes is like fucking fantastic, and then you have the final battle, and you're like, this is like Marvel movie shit, where it's like I don't give a fuck, like I don't care.
Yeah, I have really no desire to see it. I mean, I'm gonna watch it for sure, and I'm sure it'll be fine, and I'm sure I'll like it. But any sort of like, there's nothing coming out anytime soon that I have any really big expectations for or big desire to see. Even Tenet, I'm still so like unsure of what the fuck Tenet's supposed to be. That's hard for me to get excited.
Yeah.
Because like even when I go to Wikipedia and I click on plot, it says it's a spy movie. And I'm like, okay.
Well, that's the thing about Tenet.
Fucking no.
Tenet is so fucking weird because they released like a TV spot for it, I think like a week or two ago, and people every article I saw was like, we have more questions than answers.
Exactly. Like, okay,
and I was like, well, first of all, this is like every Nolan.
Like,
well, this is like, well, honestly, this is the problem because this is like every Nolan movie. Because I remember we had the same shit with Inception, or not Inception.
Interstellar.
Before Interstellar came out, and everybody was like, what the fuck is this even about? And then it somehow becomes like about fucking time travel, which is like, what the fuck? I don't know. That's just like a Nolan movie. Dunkirk was like the most straightforward movie ever fucking did.
Well, I'm really hoping that like, I like twists and turns in his movies, but like I just want him to make like if this movie was a straight up spy movie with Denzel Washington's son. And it had time travel stuff in it.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine with just that being the plot.
Yeah.
Like like Inception for all the thinking that Inception was, it's still fairly because
it's a fairly generic heist movie.
Inception does the smart thing, which I don't think Interstellar really did. I haven't seen Interstellar in a while, so I could be wrong. But Inception did the really smart thing, which was okay. So not only are we going to get a character who is new to all of this, and while we instruct her on how the rules work, that's instructing the viewer how the view works, and that's a solid 30 minutes of them explaining how constructs work and how the fucking totems work. That whole training montage of her like walking with Cobb, like building the cities. Oh, you can't do that. That's too intricate. That's too much. All that stuff. That's all smart exposition. Mm-hmm. Whereas like in Tenet, obviously we have no idea what's going to happen or how the movie even works. If it's going to be super intricate, I'm going to need one of those.
I have a really strong feeling that that's going to be Robert Pattinson's character, is that he's going to be that.
Right.
Because they kind of make mention of it in the trailer where they have that scene, which is a great scene, which is from the first teaser of them. They're in some fucking room and you see like the bullet holes and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a line that Robert Pattinson says where he's like, somebody get killed in this room or something like that, and then you have John David Washington basically be like, not yet, like he's explaining it to him, like the concept of like the forwards backwards type of shit. I have a feeling that's going to be what Robert Pattinson is.
So is Robert Pattinson the main character, or is Denzel Washington's son the main character?
Denzel Washington's son is the main character, but I think that Robert Pattinson is going to take on that Ellie Fanning role of like,
whoa. Who's Ellie Fanning?
It's like Ellie Fanning, right? Or what the fuck is her name then? What's her name?
Oh, from Inception?
Yeah.
What's the gay girl's name?
I don't remember. I thought her.
Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde. What's Kitty Pryde's name?
From
X-Men 3.
That's you're going into a less.
It's not Ellie Fanning. It's what's her name?
What the fuck is her name? Ellen Page.
Ellen Page.
That's close enough.
I was like, Ellie Fanning. Is she in Interstellar?
She should have been. She would have been great.
She'd been too young.
Is she? She's not that much younger than Bryce Dallas Howard, is she?
I don't know. Let's see. Ellie Fanning is like what? My age?
I think she's like late 20s.
22.
Oh, okay. Well, she still could have done. She still could have played the character. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Why the fuck do I know Ellie Fanning? Oh, because Neon Demon. That's why.
Neon Demon. She was in fucking that movie that I talked about that I saw, Teen Spirit. That was great.
Yeah. Who was in Let Me In?
That's not Ellie Fanning.
Or Let the Right One In.
What the fuck? Who was in that?
That's the vampire movie.
Isn't that like a foreign movie?
There's two. There's the American one. And there's the like Swedish version, or whatever. Let the Right One In is the original version, I believe.
Is it?
Swedish romantic horror film. The American one's Let Me In, which stars Cody Smith McPhee and Chloe Grace Moretz. Okay.
Who's Chloe Grace Moretz?
She's the other blonde girl from Kick-Ass.
Oh. She blue.
She was from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Desperate Housewives, 5 Days of Summer.
This filmography is terrible.
Of whose?
Of Chloe Grace Moretz.
Let's look at her filmography.
This is terrible filmography.
I mean, she's rich.
Until she was in Suspiria, and then she fucking came back for it, son. Killed.
Oh, she was in Suspiria, Kick-Ass, Carrie. She played Carrie.
Okay. She was in Addams Family. That's a good one on her.
She was in Equalizer 1, which was great.
She was in Neighbors 2. Not that good.
She was in Addams Family. She's in Tom and Jerry.
Addams Family is a good one for her. She was in Suspiria and Addams Family. I'll give that to her. That's some good stuff.
I mean, she's also young, right? Let me go back to her Wikipedia.
I'm pretty sure she's one of the first people to get killed in Suspiria.
She's only 23, bro. Like,
is she? I don't think.
She's all right. She'll have a fun career. She's already rich as it is. She'll be fine.
That's true. She's rich as fuck. You know.
Moving on. It's been reported, this is from IGN, that Marvel will get back the rights to Daredevil, and then later this year, and then the rights to the other characters, I think later 2021.
I hope so.
Do you think that they'll do more Disney Plus stuff with those same actors, or do you think they're going to recast?
I think they're going to recast, and I also don't think they're going to do any more Punisher, because I just don't think that fits with the Disney Plus image.
So I think they're just going to end the Punisher, or they're going to do movies, do you think, or they're going to stop?
I think they're going to stop. I think they could do I think you could do Daredevil and still do it in a way that makes it like Disney Plus friendly. I think you could do all of those characters in a way that is Disney Plus friendly, except for Daredevil or except for Punisher.
I think it would be a big mistake not to do Punisher.
But you know what? I could be wrong because they're gonna do Blade, and that's not Disney Plus friendly. So I could easily see them still doing Punisher.
I think they would be.
I mean, there's a market for it, so it's not like. So it's not like.
I think you'd be really dumb not to bring back, what's his name, Bernthal, to do more Punisher, and just make it fucking good, like to have that returning season. Like, look at everything that people said negative about the first 2 seasons. Because my big gripes of Punisher, there's always 2 stories per season. I don't need those stories. Give me one big longer story that's better, and just fucking kill it.
Or one big shorter story, then instead of taking 12 episodes, it takes like 6.
Well, I don't think they're even 12. I don't know if they're 12, but they're around that same.
They were like 10 or 12, because I remember the problem that I had with like Luke Cage when I started watching it, that it was like 12 episodes long, and I was like, I feel like this doesn't need to be 12 episodes.
With Luke Cage, I feel like I got to the halfway point and was like, okay, cool, he beat the bad guy, now we're over, right? Hold on, there's more left. What the fuck? Okay. Nope. I would like them to do more Daredevil and do more Punisher, but I don't really care about the other characters. I don't care about Jessica Jones. I don't care about Luke Cage. I don't care about Iron Fist.
Yeah, I don't really care about them.
But as long as they get them back, I would love more Punisher.
Yeah.
What else we got going on? Not much. Oh, here's another big comic book thing I'll mention real fast.
Oh yeah, that's big.
Is that DC recently, a couple of days ago, DC decided to cut their ties with Diamond Distributors, which is essentially the monopoly that puts out the comic book all to all the comic book shops and stuff like that. So DC is going with different avenues to do that. A lot of people are saying that a lot of comic book creators are saying this essentially DC's saying, hey, we're going to war with Marvel because they'll use Diamond. Diamond will go out of business potentially, so Marvel has to pick a new avenue, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. My Facebook groups are blowing up about this. Like my comic book groups I'm in are like, oh my god, DC did this, Diamond did this, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. My perspective on it is that I don't care because either way I get my Action Comics and my Green Lantern.
Well, look, I still got my first issue of the fucking Strange Adventures that I need to fucking have completed. I don't care who gets it to me. I need the other fucking 11 issues.
Also, there should never be a monopoly on anything. Especially where, like, with the quarantine stuff, like, Diamond stops putting stuff out so no one gets books.
Yeah, that was fucking bullshit.
Which means that creators aren't getting paid, people aren't getting paid.
Yeah.
Which means that DC loses money, which means that Marvel loses money, which means that everyone's suffering because of this one decision. And maybe, I'm not saying morality-wise if it was a better or smart or not smart decision, I'm just saying in terms of business.
Yeah.
Nothing would have been better for me to do but read comic books the entire time I was off.
Yeah.
Or I was off, but people were off.
2 months, like, people would have been reading a fucking shitload of comic books. But no new comics were coming out because Diamond fucking stopped.
And but I also want to say, until I get a new Green Lantern series, I don't fucking care. Cancel everything.
Which Green Lantern do you want?
Here's the thing.
Because there's like 10 of them now.
Here's the thing.
And none of them are dead. They're all alive.
Grant Morrison did a couple of Green Lantern stuff recently, Black Stars. He did a series called The Green Lantern with Hal Jordan. I hate Grant Morrison on Green Lantern. I like Grant Morrison on a lot of stuff. His X-Men stuff I love. His Batman stuff I really, really like. His Doom Patrol stuff, obviously legendary.
Yeah.
But in terms of Green Lantern, to me, Jeff Johns is like the premier Green Lantern guy.
Yeah.
He writes sci-fi in a really, really good way. It still holds the idea of space cops. Mm-hmm. So I want a new Green Lantern series with Jon Stewart as the lead. That's it. I don't want Kyle Rayner. I don't want Guy.
I've never liked Guy. I don't know. Guy's never been one for me. Kyle Rayner's interesting. I don't care about any of the new ones. They got like Simon Baz and some fucking other
Jessica Cruz, yeah.
Yeah, who was on the Justice League that was a boring as fuck character. It was like they made her like Hal Jordan but worse in the aspect of like her main thing was that she was like scared to use her power and she was like conquering fear, but like she doesn't, at least when I was reading Justice League, she like did nothing to like alleviate that at all. She was just always like a fucking like scared little puss, and I was just like,
yeah, I just want John. I mean, I love Hal.
Yeah, John's Jordan,
great, but to me, John's
I don't know. John and Hal have the same problem where I feel like they're not. The thing I like about Kyle Rayner is that I think the Green Lantern powers shine when you have a great imagination, and so I like Kyle Rayner for that aspect of. As a comic book artist, he has a great imagination of like what he can do and like what he can create. And I feel like Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart are kind of like, I don't know, I mean, they're like military guys. They're like very regimented and like they don't think outside the box. Like the most that Jon Stewart does is he like makes a giant fucking fist to like punch something.
See, I don't even know what Jon Stewart is anymore because I haven't read any of the Rebirth stuff because originally he's an architect.
Is he?
And then they retconned him to a Marine. And then I don't know if they put him back to being an architect or not. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like the same thing with Guy Gardner. I think Guy Gardner originally was like a football player. And then with like an abusive dad.
He looks like a football player.
And then they retconned him to be from a family of cops. And he was a cop, and his brother was a cop, and his dad was a cop. And they I don't know where he is now. I mean, the two consistencies that Hal is always a pilot.
Yeah.
And Kyle has always been an artist.
Yeah.
from what I remember. But I think I think it goes back to the fact that I wasn't reading comic books as a kid,
Yeah.
but I watched cartoons.
I
So,
was about to say, for me,
John was always
Green
the
Lantern
guy.
is John Stewart from Justice League.
Yeah,
Like
and then
that's it.
for me, the order's always been.
But I don't know, because in that aspect, because I'm pretty sure the Flash in that is not Barry Allen. I'm pretty sure it's Wally West, isn't it?
I think it's Barry.
Is it Barry? Oh, okay.
I think it's Barry in that. I could be completely wrong, but
I thought it was Wally.
Justice League animated TV. Let's see, because for me personally, it's John's always been the guy, and then when I started reading comic books, was right when Jeff Johns was doing all his Rebirth stuff. No, it's Wally. It's Wally.
It is Wally? Okay.
Yeah, and it's also played by Michael Rosenbaum.
Oh.
So when I started reading comic books, it was Hal's coming back. So I like Hal second, and then the rest of them I can give two fucks about.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's DC distributor stuff. We'll see what happens. I'll keep talking about it if it gets any better or gets any worse.
We'll see.
What else do you want to hit on, Zach?
Jason.
Uh-huh.
We have a problem.
What's the problem?
Ridley Scott is still in his fucking Alien-ish where he thinks that we need more Alien movies. This is a problem. Somebody needs to tell him, sit him down and say, listen, old man, you fucking go into the fucking old age home and you stop thinking about aliens because the last 2 Alien movies you made have sucked ass and have done nothing for the canon except make
Let's
it work.
say there hasn't been good Alien movies since Aliens.
That's true, but he wasn't a part of 3 or 4, so I don't really count.
I'm just saying in general, like
Alien,
3 Resurrection, 3 Prometheus, Covenant, and what was all of them?
Well, there was Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien 4, Prometheus, Alien Covenant, Alien vs Predator, Alien vs Predator Requiem.
But do you count those as Alien movies?
No, but I mean those are the only Alien movies.
Because
those are the only movies with aliens.
I would rather have more Predator movies.
Oh, 100%. I mean,
especially after the last one.
I mean, I would rather have more Predator movies, but it's just like, it's the same thing where it's like, we had another Predator movie, and we thought it was in the right hands, and that movie still tended to be like a pile of fucking garbage.
Which
so
one?
Like,
the last one?
Predators.
Oh, I didn't see it. I saw the last
one.
Or
the Predator. Is that what
Shane Black did the last one, which is Predator.
Yeah.
That movie was fun.
It's fine, but it's like it's not
movie.
as I'd rather watch like Predator 2.
Predator 2? What? With Danny Glover?
Yeah, I'm too old for this shit.
In the fucking city? No way, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
For me, it's this.
Honestly, I'd rather watch Predators because I like Predators a lot. I like the death game aspect to it. I really like Predators.
Like, for me, Predator only has one movie, and then the new one I saw, I liked it. Predator 2 I thought sucked.
I really liked Predators.
I didn't watch Predators, and and the last one I thought was fine. But Alien,
Predators was fun.
Alien, just 1 and 2 are good. The rest of them blow.
Yeah, the rest of them are terrible.
Like, Prometheus looks great. But
I mean, Alien Covenant looks great, but it's still a fucking shitty movie.
I remember seeing that in theaters. We saw it together, didn't we?
Did I ever tell you about the fact that I saw that movie fucking twice?
Why'd you see it twice?
Because I was I watched it once by myself because I was like, yeah, I want to watch it. And then you guys wanted to watch it. Yeah. And I was like, well, I don't want to like not watch it with you guys. And then I watched it again, and they reaffirmed my ass. Like, yeah, I fucking hate this movie.
Yeah, that movie sucked. Well, he needs to stop making those movies. That's what he needs to do.
He needs to get off that thing where he thinks that people want more Alien movies, because they don't. They just want Alien and Aliens.
Well, let's see. Hold on. Let's go to Alien Covenant Wikipedia. Let's take a look at the projected budget and revenue. Well, it cost $97 to $111 million. This is off to Wikipedia, so take it with a grain of salt. And it made $240. So...
Predators did?
No, this is Alien. This is a Covenant.
Oh, Covenant.
So we're probably going to get another one.
I hope not. God
whatever happened to Jurassic World 3?
It's still coming out. It got delayed.
This is Jurassic Park Dominion?
Yeah, Dominion. It's still coming out.
They just released a teaser for it?
They released, it was right before the pandemic hit that they released like a short from it. It was like a 7 or 8 minute short where it was like
Huh.
It's like this family that was in like a camping ground or something like that, and like as they were camping, there was like a triceratops that like ran through or some shit like that, and then they almost got killed by an allosaurus. It was crazy shit.
Oh, okay. I don't know if am I gonna like this movie.
Probably not. Did you like
Fallen
the
Kingdom
Jurassic World?
sucked.
Yeah, if you didn't like that, you probably won't like it.
I said before, every Jurassic Park movie has been, except for the first one, and I guess the second one too, but since then it's been like, there's
I don't know.
a new dinosaur.
I liked Jurassic World, kind of. I mean, it was enjoyable for like
Well, that was
fucking
fine. It was Jurassic Park.
No, yeah, it was
again.
Jurassic Park but with a bigger monster, which is like I'm fine with because I love dinosaurs. But Jurassic Lost Kingdom was boring as fuck. I didn't care about that at all.
Oh, Fallen
Kingdom. And then or Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, that one sucked. I don't. There's nothing else to say about it. It was bad. Boring movie. Wasted my time. Made me ashamed to be a Jurassic Park fan.
Yeah, it was boring too. So boring. Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to mention, Zach? We're almost at an hour and a half, so.
We are. I mean, the only thing I want to mention is fucking Mission Impossible's back, baby. Resuming filming in the fall. Let's fucking go. Thank God.
Is there a title for this one yet?
I don't think they had a title announced for it yet, even before the pandemic hit. Okay. I think it was still just called. I think it was still just working under Mission Impossible 7.
Yeah, this is too many now. How many did we do before we stop?
Until Tom Cruise is dead, I guess.
Dude, it's too many, dude.
He still looks young. I don't know what fucking Scientology must have gave him the fucking potion of immortality.
I know, man.
He fucking looks the same, except he has longer hair. That's the biggest difference.
The next big stunt he's gonna do is he's gonna fucking take a submarine.
He's got that movie coming out where he's gonna be on the fucking International Space Station.
Wait, what?
You hadn't seen that?
No. What is this?
Steve Soderbergh is directing it. He's gonna be like, it's like a heist movie on like the International Space Station, I think.
But he's actually going to the real one?
I think so.
That'd be fucking
Give me a second.
I can't imagine that. That can't be real.
I think they're actually filming on it, aren't they?
Crazy.
Are they not?
That can't be legit.
Hold on, give me a second. Tom Cruise space movie.
Search Tom Cruise ISS. I found it. Yeah, it says Tom Cruise
plots to shoot movie in space with Elon Musk.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Down for it, dude.
Yeah, because the Jim Bridenstine, who's the director or whatever the fuck of NASA, I forget what his title is, like director / NASA admin, yeah. NASA has decided to work with Tom Cruise on a film aboard the space station. That's fucking insane, dude.
Love it.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Can you imagine?
Love it.
Can you imagine being fucking like a real astronaut? Like you're a real fucking.
And you
like
see
you
Tom
spent.
Cruise next to you.
Not even that. You spent fucking years getting doctorates or joint military stuff and learning how to fly or do this or chemistry or plant stuff or whatever, and fucking some actor gets a fucking free ride to space.
I don't know, dude, because, I mean, at this point, I mean, our next goal is to fucking get humans in space, so eventually it's going to be at the point where it's like, it's some bumfuck who, like, won the lottery and is able to buy a ticket to the ISS.
I can't imagine.
This, like, super genius astronaut.
After this movie comes out, it's going to be like, hey, did you want to watch October Sky? You should watch Apollo. That's going to help you become engineers and space people. No, fuck those movies. We're going to watch Tom Cruise's ISS movie where he it's not that big of a fucking space station. How are you gonna I've seen Gravity already.
I've seen Gravity.
I know how this plays out. I've seen Sandra Bullock in space. Well, Zach, We're at an hour and a half. Do you want to do Epstein or do you want to wait? What do you want to do?
We can wait.
Okay, because we're at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I'll give real quick, tease my Epstein stuff. It's fine.
It's fine. It's a fun movie. Fun series. Fucking fucked up. Super fucked up.
I like how you call it fun. Like, that's your descriptor for a docuseries about girls getting, like, molested and shit. It's a fun docuseries. It's fun.
I don't know. It feels weird because it fits on the same vein as, like, Tiger King for me, where I I was engaged. Maybe fun's not the right word, but I was engaged watching it, and I find the material interesting enough.
I think the right word would be it's so intriguing.
Yeah.
That this multi-level thing. What?
They have the Gremlins 2 on HBO Max. Let's go.
Yeah, I think the first one's there too.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Know what I'm watching tonight.
But do you prefer one or New Batch?
I haven't watched New Batch. That's
you
why
haven't seen New Batch?
Not yet.
What are you talking?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I haven't had an opportunity to watch it. You couldn't find it anywhere.
God, man, New Batch is good.
I want to watch it. I'm watching tonight.
When I remember thinking about Gremlins 2. I've seen it so many times, and the first one as well, but I couldn't really place the movie. I couldn't describe the movie until I watched Red Letter Media talk about it. Where Jay was like, "This is just Joe Dante fucking going out crazy."
Joe Dante saying, "I don't give a fuck."
And it's yeah, that's exactly what this is. This is exactly what that is. Yeah. Well, guys, thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with more License to View, more news, hopefully. So see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.